Hello everyone, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. I know it's been a long time since I filmed a pick a card, that I have been in my own little world, so to speak, learning different spiritual insights, and as such, I've just been a little more isolated. Definitely watching a lot of cool spiritual YouTube videos and all that good stuff. Anyway, so this is what has inspired today's reading of who you are becoming. Who are you turning into? What personality are you moving into from this moment to the next moment? Could be just from like today to tomorrow. Could be that you're moving into this different personality a year from now, you know? When I was younger, I used to think that my personality would change every time I'd have a birthday. So I used to think that I would be leaving behind an old self on my birthday, and I would be beginning a totally, completely different journey as a completely different person, as a new person every birthday that I would have. So that's something you can think of as well. Basically, we're trying to figure out who you're turning into. Who are you becoming? What is the next personality that is coming towards you? Sometimes other people in our lives can reflect this, and I'm learning this right now in this kind of spiritual awakening that I'm going through on my own. Maybe you guys are going through a spiritual awakening too, I don't know. But let's get into the groups, and then I'll get into the reading, and we'll see who are you becoming. So without further ado, let's get into the piles. So for group number 1, we have the Tangerine Quartz. It's kind of reddish, orangish stone. That's the Tangerine Quartz. That's group 1. Group 2 is the Lapis Lazuli. That's group 2. Group 3 is the Amber. So, cool piece of amber. Group 4 is the Chrysoprase. That's group 4. And last, group 5 is the Clear Quartz. So, yeah. Oh, that one wanted to touch the Chrysoprase. I wonder if those two piles are linked. Anyway, so yeah, so take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. There's no right or wrong way to pick your crystal. Whichever way works for you is the way that works for you. And with that said, let's get into the reading. If you need more time to select your crystal, please pause the video here if you need more time to tap into your intuition, to meditate, to breathe, whatever you do, to get in contact with whatever crystal is the best for you for today's reading. But with that said, let's get into the reading, starting with group number 1, the Tangerine Quartz. Okay, everyone, group number 1 who picked the Tangerine Quartz, let's get into your reading. So I want to just get started with messages right off the bat. I know normally I take some time to shuffle and stuff, and I'm going to be shuffling today just like I normally do, but I'm going to be trying to pull cards a little fairly quicker. We'll see how it goes. First messages that are coming up for you guys. I think I'm going to take reversals today, actually. Okay, so the first thing about the person you are becoming, honestly, I'm not going to do past interpretations of talking about who you are now, because these readings are supposed to be growth focused, specifically this reading. So I'm not going to be talking about who you have been. If it comes up, it comes up and I'll bring it up. But that's not my intention with this reading. My intention is just to talk about the personality you're growing into, or the growth aspects that you're growing into. So first of all, with the 6 of Wands, you're going to be growing into a very popular, acknowledged person. I think a lot of people will really be recognizing your talents, your abilities. I think the person you're growing into comes with a little bit of fame and success and recognition. I think that in this lifetime, specifically for you, you're meant to be somewhat famous. You're meant to have a following or a group of people that recognize you and look up to you and regard you as some form of, whether it's a teacher, whether you're an artist, whether people are just relating to your message. There's something about a message that you're sharing and an audience really relating to it. So that's something you're growing into. It's funny you're on YouTube because YouTubers all have followers, they have subscribers and stuff like that. So you can look at YouTubers and read the comment sections and stuff like that and kind of imagine how that YouTuber is reacting to those comments and how that energy operates. How does your favorite YouTuber respond to comments, right? Or how does your favorite people in the comments respond to that YouTuber? If you've always thought like, man, I really want someone to look at me that way, or I really want someone to say comments like about me that way or something like that, this is what's coming for you. This is the person you're becoming. You're going to have a lot of people. And the thing I'm getting to, which is interesting, is it could happen in a multiple ways for each of you, depending on your specific circumstances. If it's online popularity, I think it's going to come through comments. If it is like social recognition, you could get flattery straight to your face, like people just complimenting you a lot straight to your face or acting really nice to you or something like that. I also see for a lot of you comments behind your back. So these would be comments that people are saying about you behind your back. This is the main thing. My air just turned off, so it's double confirmation. There is a message here about getting compliments behind your back and then finding out about them later. Like, why don't they say that to my face? But I think these people are maybe too shy to say something to your face, but a lot of people are talking behind your back, but it's all positive shit. It's all positive, good things. I really think that you guys are going to be getting a lot of recognition coming up, a lot of acknowledgement. Without sounding like a broken record, let's move on to the next card. I also think you guys in this next phase of your life, you're breaking out of like your own perspective about your body. I think this is coming in a more challenging aspect. I really think that you guys are really I think in the past, you've really scrutinized your body. And I think this is the recent past. I think recently you guys have really looked at yourselves and been like, wow, what is going on with my body? Like, it's so, I'm getting, what's that, body dysmorphia, but in a way that is not personal. Like, I'm seeing you guys, you're not taking it personally. You're just looking at your body like, what is going on with that? There's not really, I don't feel like you guys are looking at your body in a hateful way or any kind of disparaging. For some of you, there might be emotions attached to it. But I think that you guys are just realizing that you have a very unique body. There's a feeling of body acceptance, or there's a feeling of body acceptance coming. We do have a reverse card indicating that this could have a halt or a delay as far as the next thing coming into your life. So for example, you might get more fame and recognition first for whatever it is that you're doing. For some of you, if I'm linking the cards together, it could be through some kind of form of body art, whether you're a dancer, a performer, even like if you are a sex worker and you work on OnlyFans or something like that, this could come in the form of that. Basically, I'm seeing that you guys are you're really divorcing yourself from your own victim mindset about your body. So for example, I think you guys probably have a lot of thoughts about how your body is or how people perceive your body. And I think you're learning a lot of these thoughts are either false or just are superfluous. Like, I'm seeing that they are just non-existent. Because we see this woman right here in the top, and she's looking into the mirror. In the mirror, she's surrounded by these birds who are tying her up with strings. But in real life, there's nothing going on. There's nothing happening. So the truth is that a lot of this stuff is in your head. And I think you guys are overcoming this. As we see this woman on top, or the higher position in this card, the woman without the birds and the strings, I think you guys are overcoming this. I think you're overcoming this perspective that you have to control your body's movements, how your body performs, how your body behaves. And I think you guys are letting go a little bit in how restrained you are is kind of the vibe that I'm getting, whether that's your perspective being restrained or whether that's your actual body being restrained. For some of you, this new self is coming with a lot of movement and mobility. So if you've ever had an injury or you currently have an injury, like I know right now my sister had surgery on her leg. This is like, if this applies to you, the same message applies to you. You're healing parts of your body and you're becoming more expressive with those parts of your body. Say you've never danced before and you really want to dance. I see you guys really learning and loving dancing. There's something about you guys could also be taking a class and adding a new skill that's something to do with your body. So whether that's the gym, dancing. Maybe some of you are learning to play football, something like that. Whatever it is, there's a feeling of learning some new skill with your body as well. Yeah. Also, the next person you're becoming into with the star card in reverse, I'm getting a strong vibe that you're not letting hope dictate your life. So, for example, I think with the star card here, there's a strong vibe of like in the past being very hopeful and really expecting the best out of situations and being infused with the sense of hope. You're not letting that dictate your life anymore. You guys realize there's a feeling of being more realistic. Some people are going to disagree with me on this. I know that, but there's a feeling of not letting expectations get the better of you. Even if that means it's a positive expectation, right? You're not letting that positive expectation get the better of you. I see a sense of realism in the person you're becoming. I think you guys are still going to do spiritual stuff. I think you're still going to watch pick a cards. I think you're still going to do whatever spiritual practices you do, whether that's meditation, yoga, chakra work, stuff like that. But I think that you guys are taking a more realistic approach to hope and faith. I think you guys know that hope and faith is a powerful tool. And I even see this with it being reversed. You might come into a further awakening after this new awakening of becoming this person that's a little more realistic. You might become someone who really firmly believes in believing in a positive outcome and believing in a positive future. But I see right now you're not letting expectations dictate your life. You're not letting the idea or the dream of something happening in a really positive way confuse you. I think you guys are going to meet situations in the present moment and meet them head on. It's interesting here because I see this light tied to this string and she's holding this string to her heart. And she's looking at this light. It's almost like your next version of yourself. Your heart's going to be outside your body. And it's going to be your heart energy is outside your body. So this could take the form of being so good at projecting your kindness and good nature out into the world that it reflects, you're getting reflections of other people being kind-hearted to you, right? So you might feel like you're not necessarily being kind to people, but because you have your own good intentions, I mean, you could be being kind to people, but because you have your own good intentions and they're getting projected outward onto the world, you're attracting a lot of positive, helpful, kind, caring, considerate, heart-focused people into your life. And this is just to show you that your heart doesn't necessarily have to reside in your own physical chest cavity, right? It doesn't have to reside within you, but your heart can be reflective outside of you, right? I think you guys are learning the idea of there's a philosophy, and I can't remember, because I know it concept wise, I don't know the actual name of it, but there's a whole concept that what happens in your mind, what's recurring in your mind is a reflection on your outer world. So basically there's a dialogue or an interaction based on your thoughts and what actual things are happening in the outer world. I'm seeing that, but for you guys, I see it with your heart. So I see it with your feelings, your emotions, your connection to others. There's a strong vibe of really just, how do I put this? I really see you guys seeing the world how you feel your own inner heart operates. And there's a feeling of just projecting that heart energy outward. There could be a powerful meditation moment where you guys actually really focus on your heart, and you're really focusing on your heart in this meditation. And then you realize halfway through the meditation, that it's lonely or something like that, and then you decide to project that heart energy outward. I'm seeing that if you guys project your emotional feelings outward, it will attract the right environment to you. Yeah. And also it's interesting because I'm seeing this is creating a stronger sense of being devoted and committed to reality and what's real in life. So that heart space, even though you are projecting it outward, it creates a reality that you can rely upon, right? And that reality that you can rely and focus upon and lean on becomes a centerpiece for your new identity, right? So first of all, that reality is going to reflect a lot of recognition back towards you. So this heart energy kind of goes along with this popularity. You guys might, besides getting popular with something with your body, right? You might get popular with something that deals with your kindness or your community service or your charity or philanthropy, something like that. So let's see. I wanted to keep these readings relatively short, but who knows? Let's pull another card Yeah, let's pull an animal oracle card. And you will get some more information here. Okay. Let's pull two. Crow spirit and hummingbird spirit. Okay, first thing I want to point out is both these creatures are flying animals. They both take to the air. There's a feeling of having a lot of freedom in this next part of your life. Your identity is shifting to someone who has a lot of freedom, a lot more time to do what you want to do. I see that you are co-creating with spirit. Obviously, that's what this crow spirit card says. And be here and now. I feel like you're being in the more present moment. With the star card associated with these colors, with the hummingbird being this pink and purple, and so the star card has this pink and purple, I really think that being in the present moment is the main message I want to get across with this star card, even though you will be having that experience of the heart being reflected in your reality, and that might be very cool and might be very awesome to experience when it comes up. With be here and now, there's a strong vibe that the main focus is on the present moment. I see you guys being really present. With the hummingbird card, this card really reminds me of someone who flits about from flower to flower, tasting the nectar of each and every flower, and really just being in the present moment with every single flower they're interacting with. You can think of these flowers as activities, like interests that you're doing. So that could be like if you want to take piano lessons, you do that and you're really focused on that while you're doing that. And then you take a writing class, you really do that. Like I said, with the new skill with the Eight of Swords, some of these skills for most of you are going to be associated with your body, your actual physical body. You might be improving your body, taking soccer, volleyball, football, sportsy type things. With the hummingbird spirit here, with be here and now, this could also, the flowers could represent people, that every person you interact with, you're really present and you're observing that person's energy and you're really focusing on that other individual and seeing them clearly for who they are. With the crow spirit energy, we also have this opposite vibe of the dark crow energy, right? The crow is in the color black, right? It's kind of the idea of negative space. It's funny, crows are very alert and active in the daytime. You know, I've never seen a crow at night. I've never seen a crow just walk around at night. And the interesting thing is crows are very interesting like that. They're fully covered in shadow, but they totally operate in the middle of the day, you know, and they definitely stand out, right? Other birds can blend in or camouflage. Like the main purpose of like an animal's skin or their outer shell is to blend in with the environment if they're a prey animal so they can't get caught. But crows don't do that. They're a very unique animal in that way. And I think you guys are also that same way. I think your next unique personality or your identity you're shifting into is someone who stands out. You're gonna be that type of person that, for example, like if, I'm just gonna use the crow for an example to keep it simple. If you're a person that decides to be awake during the daytime, or you get a whole bunch of followers or people in the daytime, you would be dressed in all black in the middle of the day, right? That's kind of the vibe of the crow. There's another vibe that whatever environment you're in or you're coming to being into, for example, say you're getting famous in a particular area. Say, I'm going to use the sports analogies. Maybe you are really learning how to play soccer and you're actually really good at soccer and people are commenting you on how well you play soccer and they're like teaching you things and you're learning really quickly. The interesting thing here would be something along the lines of everyone like kicks with their right foot, you would kick with your left, something like that. Or there's some kind of unique talent or skill you have that is different from everyone else. I'm going to be honest, my air turned back on and I started losing my train of thought with that particular thing I was talking about with the crow. But for the most part, you just have to remember that you're going to stand out. It's not a bad thing. Crows are kind of in a way like, I feel like crows are like apex predators in general, or they're definitely at the top of the food chain. I don't know any animal that eats crows, you know, and crows are also scavengers too. I think you're going to be really utilizing a lot of efficiency in the way you make use of all the things in your life is kind of how I'm seeing that too. And with co-create with spirit, it's interesting because even though you're going to feel very separate or different than other people, same thing with the Eight of Swords here, right? It's talking about how you're viewing your body in a very unique or different way, but you're not taking it personal, right? And you know your thoughts about your body are just your own, and that's not other people's opinion of your body. Pretty much we all have different opinions of body types. You know, there's a standard of beauty, right? But I honestly think sometimes it's forced down our throats and we're not meant to necessarily associate with it, or we're meant to find our own love of beauty. Like there, obviously we all have certain body types we prefer, and that might be the standard of beauty. But the thing that I'm seeing here is you're learning that your body type is uniquely your own, and whoever is gonna come along to appreciate that body is gonna really fucking love that body. Like they're really going to love your body. And I think you're learning this. And I think this is interesting because with the Six of Wands here, you might even get famous for something with your body when before you thought like, man, I'm like a potato or whatever, right? It's so funny. I first heard the term potato on YouTube, on like a YouTube video. I've never heard that before in my life, but that's probably just because I'm like 35 years old and I'm not hip with the slang. But you know, being on YouTube, I've learned some of the lingo. Anyway, you might feel like you're a potato, right? But basically with the Eight of Swords here, it's saying that like, it doesn't matter what you feel about your body, right? Like, I mean, it does in a way where you feel love for yourself, I guess. But the thing is what matters is your body is meant to attract another person to be attracted to you. And that person's going to be very attracted to your body. And that's the point of it. It's like a lock and a key, right? And so it's interesting. I see you were very different or unique in this new famous thing that you're going to be in when you identity shift. And it might be with your body. You might be realizing you have a very unique look, a very unique body, but for some reason it's in high demand. You never thought it would be. Maybe you're finally showing off parts of your body and you're finally realizing, oh my gosh, like people are really into this. Or maybe you have hid your body with certain clothes or makeup or something like that, and you're revealing more of your true face, your true experiences, your true expression. It could also be that maybe you've always done your makeup a specific way that other people appreciated or you thought other people appreciated. Maybe you're starting to do your own designs with makeup. You're starting to do your own creations with makeup, not based on what other people are doing, but what your creativity, your creative flow is telling you to do, right? It could be in any of these ways, shapes, or form. Another form with body things, and this is a good example from my own life actually. I started weightlifting how I wanted to weightlift and not following programs that I would find on like bodybuilder.com or anything like that. Not to trash any like sites, programs can be very helpful, but I just started doing what I wanted to do and it like took off from there. I think I had fun with it more. And I think that's something that I'm seeing with you guys. I think there's a feeling of having more fun with your physical appearance and just embracing the uniqueness of it, especially with crow spirit. So whatever body activity you're doing in this next stage of life, I do see you like really co-creating with spirit on this like opportunity to experience this thing with your body. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. I'm going to end it there. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, group 2. If you pick the Lapis Lazuli, you probably are attracted to it because your throat chakra is inactive right now. I think we're attracted to blue stones when we need to speak our truth or we need other people in our environment to speak their truth. So, for example, if we need people to, this is just a side note, this is not in your cards, but if we need other people to speak up and we need to hear the truth from them, we'll gravitate to blue stones. We'll wear blue stones. If we need to speak the truth ourselves, we'll wear blue stones. So Lapis Lazuli can be good for that. I was wearing this stone tonight. It actually helps you become a better public speaker or speak more eloquently or more accurately. So with that said, let's get into your reading. Okay, so Light Seers Tarot cards. Also, something that I associate Lapis Lazuli with is ancient civilizations because it has ties to Egypt. So if you guys have thought or believe you have any past lives in Egypt or of any Egyptian pharaohs or princesses, Cleopatra included, there is a feeling that you could be reconnecting with a past life coming up in your next identity for who you're becoming, and you're becoming more like that person that you were in a past life. That past life is re-emerging in your person right now to create, how do I put this? To create the new identity. They're coming in to aid to help the new identity. You might also meet people who, the air went off, so that's double confirmation that chances are, we have the Three of Swords, chances are you are meeting someone in yourself from a past life. So you're going to be being more like a past life self. That part of you is going to be coming up more in this period. Okay, I am taking reversals in today's reading. So yeah. Okay, with this Lapis Lazuli thing, there's a few things coming in here. With the stone that you picked, I think it's really applying to your reading. Usually the stones don't necessarily apply to the reading as much as they are just an indicator of the pile you chose, you know. And some people, you might have just picked this group from like using a random number picker or something, and you picked group 2 or something like that, or you used a different version of your intuition that had nothing to do with the stone, but the stone is actually informing a lot of this reading, so I'm going to go with that. With the Three of Swords here, I feel like you really needed someone to speak their truth. Recently or in your life, you feel like people are not telling you the truth. I definitely see in your current identity, there's a feeling of a little bit of paranoia. And I'm seeing that a lot of different people are watching this. All of them, though, I feel like all of you watching this who picked this pile have a little bit of paranoia because you don't believe people are expressing their true selves around you. You feel like people are faking it around you, or they're fake people. You feel like you have a lot of fake people in your life, people who are lying to you, stuff like that. There's also a strong vibe here that you feel restricted or constrained by these lies. Something coming up in the future is cutting the attachment to these perspectives of these people, right? With the High Priestess here, this card in reverse talks about not knowing, right? With it being in reverse representing a block, it talks about not knowing right now, but knowing in the future. So one thing that I'm seeing is with this new identity shifting, I think what's going to happen is you're going to cut some people out of your life, and this is going to transform your identity. This is one of the cases where, because, okay, for example, in my life, I will meet a new person and I get really like them. I think they're really cool. I think their personality is like the jam, right? And the cool thing about that is I start to absorb personality characteristics from this person that I'm meeting. For you guys, it's a little bit different. I'm seeing the process similar. It's a similar process, but for you guys, I'm seeing it's more of a distraction, right? I see that the people in your life that are coming, kind of seeming like these fake people is kind of what I'm seeing, are distracting you from your true inner self. And I think that your identity shift is actually going within. So for example, with the Three of Swords here, there's definitely a cord cutting thing. This is my cord cutting card, especially in this deck, this particular deck. There's a feeling of cord cutting of fake people out of your life. And I think that's the first step you're going to take in reintegrating with your own sense of self. I think you guys have been feeling lost, or like you are a fraud as well. And I think you're stuck in this cycle of thinking other people are fake. And definitely I see a lot of paranoia about worrying if you're fake. Like, am I fake? Am I a genuine person? Do people believe me when I speak? Do I speak the truth? Do people think I'm lying? Stuff like that. There's a lot of like confusion here. And I feel for you guys, like that's a tough place to be in, right? But a lot of it has to do with, you're just keeping some people around that you need to let go of, right? And it's one of those things too where you don't have to let go of people physically. This is especially important for people who have family members. If you have family members and you love your family to death and you know you don't want to let go of them, or you are in a situation where you're stuck with someone, for example, like a roommate, and you don't get a new roommate for another 6 months, or whatever the case may be, you're stuck with a person, you can't get rid of them. Sorry, I'm losing my train of speak. Detaching from them psychologically can be very beneficial, right? Detaching yourself with expectations, right? Not being like affected if they say something that seems fake or not, you know? There's a feeling here that obviously most of you are going to want to physically get away from these people. And for most of you, you have the opportunity to physically get away from these people. This could be just a group of friends that you are relating to, something like that. And you don't feel quite yourself in this group, and the universe is kind of hinting to you, they're showing you signs like get out of this group, do your own thing, follow your own path, follow your own heart, go discover more of yourself. With the Hermit card here, this talks about introspection, right? With the Hermit and the High Priestess both being in reverse, This talks in a way about a future event happening, that you will be intuitive and know a lot in the future. I think your intuition is being a little bit blocked by the fact that you might be being gaslit. So for example, you might think someone's saying the truth. You might know something's up and someone like lies to you and says, no, that's not it. This is how I really am, but they're actually lying to you, that kind of thing. I don't want to fuel your paranoia. That's not my point here. The point is not to fuel the paranoia. The point of this reading is to move towards what is attractive in your growth. If you find you are confused by these people, say you think of something and you think you're right and these people say you're wrong, the point is not to go towards confusion. The point is to go towards clarity. If you are finding when you are by yourself, you're discovering secrets to the universe, you're discovering epiphanies beyond your wildest dreams, the point is to go inward and focus on yourself, right? It's about trusting your inner self to know the truth. And I definitely think you're becoming that type of person who trusts their inner knowing to know the truth. With the High Priestess here, there's a feeling of jumping into this new identity, not knowing anything. So don't be scared if you are starting this new path and you go within, you take some time away from certain people in your life. Remember, these are people that feel like they're putting on a performance, or they're fake, or they're not telling you the truth, that kind of thing. People who aren't genuine, right? There's a feeling of moving away from these people, maybe not necessarily knowing if you have a firm understanding of the truth, but I'm telling you, it's an energetic thing. Remove the people, the truth will come. You literally have to take this one thing out of your life for this new thing to fill its place, right? And this new positive thing wants to fill up this spot. It wants to fill up this spot, but it's being taken up by this confusion and misperception of all these people who are quote unquote lying, right? And it might even be that they're not quote unquote lying to you, that it's just a miscommunication. But the point is you are in this state where you are feeling paranoid, like people are being fake, like people aren't being really themselves. The point of this is to go within, get in touch with your own intuition, go into that inner hermit mode and really experience yourself. I'm definitely seeing a lot of positive effects with journaling. Writing down your observations, specifically your thought observations. Don't journal about external events. Journal about how you are reacting to external events. And that will give you a big clue into how your mind is operating. And I think the more you write, the more you discover with that process of writing, the more you'll discover the truth of a situation, right? This is just simply a transformation into your new self. Your new self, who you are becoming, is a very extremely intuitive person, someone who relies on their own inner ability to soul search, knowing who they truly are in spite of what other people say you are, in spite of what other people are perceiving you to be. You know who you are, and you are secure and safe in the fact that you have searched your soul and you know your true self. That authenticity, like this woman who's glowing right here, will shine out to others and attract more genuine people into your life. But you have to get in touch with the genuine side of yourself first, going within and feeling that beautiful communication with your own being. I think there's a feeling of being too involved with social activities at this point is kind of my vibe here, or being too involved with people who are manipulators or people who are, and remember, there's times where you cannot avoid certain people. And the lesson is not necessarily, and I'm not making this an excuse. Obviously, if someone is negative in your life and you need to get away from them, make the effort to get away from them. Don't use that as an excuse being like, oh, well, I'm still going to keep them in my life because I can't get away from them. If you really can, do it. If you can't, right, experience this as an opportunity of detachment, detaching from their how they push your buttons, and kind of is what I'm seeing. Detaching from how they push your buttons, detaching from your connection with them. Energetic cord cutting exercises are going to be really beneficial here. I'm definitely seeing that because with the Three of Swords here, I feel like you're tied to someone else's emotions. This is kind of like, I'm feeling for you guys, there's a form of burdensome empathy here a little bit where you are tied to the attachment to someone. Yeah, I think you're really intuitive about these people too. It's just that it's coming across like there's a miscommunication or they're blocking you or something like that. Yeah, mainly you're supposed to get in touch with yourself. Let's pull some animal oracle cards and we will continue this reading. and then I'll wrap it up. I don't know if you guys like long readings or short readings, but I'm going to do the readings how I feel, and you can stay or leave depending on if you like it or not. So let's get your cards. We have the spider spirit. Yes. And the mouse spirit. Yeah. Okay. With the spider spirit here, the spiders spin webs, right? It's funny because like in my own like mind map of my mind, like how I associate how my brain works, it's like a giant spider web. And it like the strings connect to all the things that support the web, you know? But the thing that I'm seeing here, it says with make your well, I'm not really noticed. Okay, so it says make your dreams real. I'm not really seeing that message applying. It might apply later in the reading, but I'm just going to go with the web analogy first, right? Because this Three of Swords kind of looks like a web as well. There are parts outside of your web that are shifty, right? It's like if a spider built a web on a bush, but maybe 3 of the branches on the bush are like dead or about to fall off or are going to get blown away in the wind because they're weak branches, right? What does that do to the spider web? If the spider builds its foundations on weak footholds, what happens is when that branch blows away, right, the web starts to fall apart and the web blows away, right? Say like I know you guys have seen spider webs in like the most random places where you see a spider building a web like on a fan in your living room or something like that. You know, the ceiling fans that are above your living room, or you see a spider building a spider web somewhere where it's easily going to get knocked down, right? The cool thing about spiders, they can always rebuild their web. They can always create a new web. That's something that's a little sign of hope for you guys, that you can always create a new web, but you're building your web on insecure foundations. It's like building your web on a ceiling fan and then some human comes along, just turns on the ceiling fan and the web just gets blown to bits, right? Or it's like building your, like I'm gonna go back to the bush analogy. It's like building your web on a bush where the branches are going to get blown away in the wind. They're not sturdy branches, and then the whole spider web gets discombobulated, right? It's about securing your connections to sturdy branches, to genuine people. But what I'm seeing is your picker is a little off right now to pick the genuine people in your life. And if you guys are at this point in this reading and you know you really value your connections, the people in your life are extremely genuine, they're truthful, they're honest, and you don't suffer from any of this paranoia, this is not your pile. This is for my people who struggle with making connections with others and struggle with trusting others, right? This is the point. You need to go within. You need to get in touch with your own sense of genuineness. This is a matter of not knowing your own identity or not being as in tune with your own identity. The Hermit talks about soul searching in general. And I'm definitely thinking journaling with the Hermit and the High Priestess. There's a feeling of journaling, and it starts to discover yourself. It ends with getting a strong intuition about how things actually are in the world and trusting that intuition. Knowing that intuition is a part of you. So basically with the spider analogy here, it's just talking about once you emerge from this chrysalis, that's what the word is, chrysalis, with the Three of Swords here, you will build stronger connections, better connections on stronger footholds so your web can stand the test of time. Your web can be sturdy and last longer, essentially. And that web is what I'm seeing is a part of your social network. And yes, I know you guys are very social people. You wouldn't get the spider spirit if you weren't. There's just a strong feeling here that you need to go within, reassess. I'm kind of making my point again right now, but you need to reassess what's going on within and get in touch with your own genuine center yourself. What do you feel is the truth in your life? What do you believe is the truth in your life, aside from what other people say? That will attract more genuine connections, and you can start creating a new web again. With Mouse Spirit, tend to the small things. This is a sign that when you go within and you're looking within yourself, you're discovering your new personality, your new sense of being, who you're going to be, what is unfolding when you start to journal, when you start to experience this new sense of who you are, right? By disassociating with these negative people in your life or these fake people in your life. I'm saying fake because I'm seeing most of you are like, these people are so fake, you know? So disassociating with these people, these fake people in your life, and tending to the small things, right? Small things can be small thoughts in your head. Little things, start small. It might be very scary to be like alone and to get into this big, deep psychological investigation of yourself, right? That can be very scary, especially if you rely on people a lot. But with tend to the small things, it's talking about starting with small elements, right? So for example, start with a small thought like, I love popcorn. I love to eat popcorn and just write about it, right? Write about popcorn, see where that leads, right? The popcorn reminds me of the movies. I'm writing about the movies because the movies remind me of this. I once saw a movie that was like this. Even if it gets too deep, you don't have to go there. If it starts getting really deep and dark and you're like, this movie was scary and it reminded me of fear and this traumatic thing that happened to me, you don't have to go there. It's not about like going to the dark spot. Does that make sense? It's not about going to the, how do I put this? You can go there, and I think you will go there, but I'm saying when you start, tend to the small things. Start with small little things that make you you, right? Start with small things that kind of are true, right? Like, it doesn't have to be these big, expansive ideas of like truth. Like, oh man, is the what's the purpose of religion? Whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be these big, major questions. With 10 to the small things, it can be small, little, insignificant questions that you already know the answer to. Like, for example, you can even just start writing like, the sky is blue. That's a truth. That's something you can trust. That's something that is a fact in our reality. That is something that does not, can't be misperceived. Your paranoia can't shift away from that, right? So when you start writing these aspects of the truth, start with small aspects of the truth, right? And you can start with things like the sky, but you want to focus these things on yourself first. So for example, say you are, 5'3", right? With 10 of the small things, you would write, I am 5'3". You're 5'3". You are 5'3". Highly unlikely that's going to change unless you're like a really young person watching my channel and you're still growing. I think most people watching my channel are over 18. I think I set the settings for that too. But basically what I'm saying is writing down the facts of the situation, the small things, my eye color is this. Start with simple things, right? And then as you progress, you'll start to discover and unfold more of yourself as you keep writing, right? Because that is the journey of the hermit. That is the journey of soul searching. That is the journey of going within, right? I do see you becoming in this next phase of your life, a person who really understands what's going on clearly in their own life, starting with their own life, and then it branching outward to understanding clearly what's going on in others' lives as well. Because once you unlock the key to yourself and to create a self that you believe and is authentic and who you are, and you follow that authentic self, that will create the people attracted into your life where you can build the stable foundation to create the network you want. So yeah, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. I hope you guys like this reading. I enjoyed giving you this reading. It was a lot of fun. If you like the reading, please like or comment below. And with that said, I'm going to end the reading there. I will catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye and see you later. Hello, group 3. Let's get into your reading. Who are you becoming? Who is group 3 becoming? Let's do a hard shuffle. Oh, wow. Okay, so I just saw the Whispers of Love deck, and I'm feeling called to pull it. I don't know if that's because, it's time for something new. I don't know what it is, but I feel called to pull from the Whispers of Love deck for you guys in today's reading. Didn't do that for the first 2 groups. So you guys are special. Special friends. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. What Whispers of Love card do you have? You are limitless. Okay. Let's keep that card. That card came up in a personal reading I did recently. Oh yeah, if you guys want a personal reading, those are available. I pretty much never advertise that I do personal readings, but I do. Those are available. I just feel called because I saw it on personal reading recently to bring that up. If you guys want a personal reading, I offer those. Only specific topics as of right now. So if you don't see the topic, I don't do a reading for that if it's not on there. Sorry, that's such a shameless plug. Okay, so let's get into who you're becoming. Okay, so I'm going to get into today's reading. There is a new habit you're picking up, or you've already picked this habit up. There's a strong vibe that this habit feels either like you can't escape this habit, or it just feels really good. Like it's one of those things that you're going to pick up that feels really good to do. But I'm going to warn you guys now, this is just a little warning in the cards that this habit could become addictive. Whatever you're thinking about picking up, it could become addictive. Now, that can be a good thing if it's a habit that is meant to increase your health or well-being, something like that, that prolongs your life, whatever. I mean, here's the thing. There really is, I don't want to judge anyone's habits like ever. The devil comes up when it's an attachment that you might struggle with in the future. There's lots of people who have tons of habits, whether that's drugs, drinking, any kind of thing that they do, and no judgment to those people. I mean, as long as you're not harming anyone, even if you're like, it kind of counts as harming yourself, I guess, in some situations. But this is just saying that you probably are entering this next phase of life, this next identity with a habit that you have. It's almost like it's not time to eliminate this habit yet or something like that. There's a feeling that the habit is still going to follow you into the next phase of life. I do see this habit has a little bit of a hold on you, but I see it's very intoxicating. And yeah, there's also a feeling of getting in touch with your ability to tempt others, your ability to seduce, essentially. Yeah, this is so funny because this is an energy that I am definitely not currently in. So it's very difficult to read for this, but I know my audience and I feel like you guys just need the messages straightforward, even if it's something that is not going on in my life or that I can't necessarily relate to at this current time. But I definitely feel a feeling of lust, a feeling of increasing your ability to lust after others or others to lust after you. There's a strong vibe of being attached to a specific habit or a person. Now, this could be with the Queen of Wands here, this could be a person represented as the Queen of Wands, right? Court cards can represent people in our lives, right? You could also be exhibiting these Queen of Wands energies, right? The Queen of Wands person is someone who's very unique, very into... I want to say that this person coming into your life is very into their own energy, but they're very entranced by you. So there's a strong feeling here of, like, she looks like she's very into her own hand and the spark that's emanating from her hand and like what she can do with this wand in her hand and how she can create. That's kind of how I'm seeing this card right here. So this person you're attracting is very concerned and focused on what they can create. Whether that's creation through manifestation, whether it's creation through art, like painting or whatever they create, they're very focused on creativity. I see that you're kind of providing an intoxicating escape for this person coming into your life. For a lot of you too, I think that there is a feeling of being addicted to a specific habit, right? With the devil card here, that helps you create. I want to be honest with you guys. I've been in this position where I had a specific habit that helped me create. I found that sometimes that habit wasn't good for me. And so I stopped using it and I just waited till I could create again without the habit. Just because that's my path and that's what I went down. But yeah, I definitely see there's like some kind of habit still in your life or something like that, or helping you to create or to be with another person or something like that. So there's okay, let me break down everything I just said. There's two messages here. There's the message of either being with a habit and making it help you become a creative person, right? This habit, in and of itself, I think is eventually going to transform your heart space to make you more loving, kind, and caring, right? Here's the other message I'm getting for some of you. There's a feeling of getting in touch with your magnetism, your ability to seduce others, and attracting a Queen of Wands energy. This is a very unique person who loves to create, and they just have their own individual vibe and style to them. You're attracting that person into a very deeply sexual chemistry. So your identity is really, in this particular reading, this is not for all the groups. This is just particularly for your guys, especially if you're resonating with coming into this period where you're more lusting and seductive and enjoying those energies. With the Queen of Wands here, I definitely feel like this person is a major reflector at this point in your life. And this is a person to reflect to you who you will become in the future. So even though you're entering this next phase of your identity, being a lusty person, being a seducer, being someone who's very charismatic and seductive in the bedroom, I definitely think with Queen of Wands here, you're attracting someone who you are going to become like them later. So it's interesting. Your next identity is a setup for the next identity, you know? And you might even realize you're becoming this person as you're engaging with them, right? This is a strong vibe of like being with someone who you really appreciate, you enjoy, you admire. You're also trying to seduce them. You find them really sexually appealing and attractive, right? And you're trying to seduce them. They find you really alluring. I see a very addictive relationship, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It just means you really are going to have a hard time letting go of this person. It's a very strong, could be a soulmate connection. We do have the Ace of Cups here, which softens the devil energy generally. This person's really awakening your inner heart space. This person is awakening your compassion. This person is awakening your kindness. This person is awakening your connection to them and the trust you have between you and this person. It's just a little addictive. I don't see you spending a lot of time alone in this next phase of your life. I see you spending a lot of time with this person, this Queen of Wands energy. Remember, this Queen of Wands energy could be male or female. They're going to have a more feminine energy to them in general. And with the cat here in the Queen of Wands lap, they're going to have a more feline approach to love. So even though you will be seducing them, they will have a strong independent streak for a little while. I'm going to say for a little while because this is a quickly growing dependent connection. But with most people, this person's very cat-like. This person has a, I'm going to approach you when I feel like it, and that's how it is, right? This person has a very cat-like energy. We always, we always associate like our flirting instincts with animals, which is hilarious and very accurate, actually. Like we act like, you have like, oh, are you a dog person where you just love, 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 love all the time? Are you a cat person where you're like, only touch me when I want to, So there's a strong vibe. This person starts out as a cat person. Eventually, there's a strong addictive pattern with you and this person. I see you guys together for a while. With Your Limitless, I definitely think this person is going to help you realize your unlimited potential as a person. For example, this person coming into your life is a strong creative energy, right? Strong creative energy. This is the vibe of someone who knows exactly what they want to create and they create it, right? This person is very strong in their traditional manifesting abilities, right? They're definitely a creator. They represent the aspect of the creator himself, of God or the goddess or the creator himself. This person represents those aspects, and they're going to awaken those aspects in you, right? Your job is not necessarily to start emulating this person before you meet them, right? Your job is to, when you meet this person, is to simply enjoy their presence and seduce them, right? I think they're going to enjoy that. I think they actually manifested someone to seduce them in their own life, right? Remember, seduce doesn't necessarily mean like inappropriate behavior or anything like that. I just want to make that clear for you guys. It definitely means like being more sexual with this person, especially if this person's open to it. I see a strong sexual chemistry between you and this person. Very addictive relationship. And this person's going to show you how limitless you are in this world. At the same time, they're going to make you a kinder and more considerate person. I think also with the blue dress here in the Ace of Cups, they're going to cool off your exterior. I definitely am getting a strong feeling of cold sex. Not that the sex itself will be cold as in like lifeless, but I'm seeing like having sex in a colder environment, like with the air conditioning on, or like on the back porch if it's like raining outside or something and you're, in the back porch or something like that. There's something about like cool environments and like hooking up in a cool environment, something like that. Also with the devil here with the hair being lifted off his head, I definitely think this person makes you feel weightless. This person makes you feel like the gravity has gone from beneath your feet and you're just floating. So for a lot of you, for a lot of people coming to this reading, for all the rest of the piles, I mean, I don't know, I haven't done the last two piles yet, so we'll get to those later, but this is a situation where a person coming in is really showing you who you're becoming, showing you who you're going to be, and your relationship with this person is really reflecting the identity you are turning into. All you have to know going into it is with the Devil card here, there is a strong vibe of just seducing this person, being in your own charismatic energy. You guys might be feeling more seductive or more powerful over others or something like that, or more like lusty in general. So yeah, for those of you who are becoming or have this bad habit that you're working with and you're becoming more creative, I think this creativity is awakening a new branch of kindness in you. It's helping you realize you are limitless. For some of you, this creative habit is actually counteracting this devil energy. So for example, maybe you were someone who had a bad habit and you are ready to get over it and you're ready to drop it. And in this next phase of life, you're finding that the only times you can really interact without this bad habit that really brings you joy and pleasure is when you're in this creative energy, right? So one thing that I'm seeing is this creative habit teaches you how to learn to become limitless and become kind and a caring soul. For most of you, I'm getting more messages about the person coming in the relationship. So if you were hoping for like a significant other to come in, or a new person, a new relationship, you're single right now, or even if you're not single, and you're in an open relationship or something like that, and there's a new fling is going to come in, someone to take your, I don't want to say take your mind off your current person, but to take some of that energy, right? It might even be that your current significant other is like blocking off some of this sexual energy that you're expanding into right now, and you're meant to actually experience it with another person. For right now, I know that I don't really like to condone cheating and stuff like that, but if you have an open discussion with your partner and you have that open connection, this could be an experience with another person. Yeah, it can also be that if you are growing in a next level with a partner, so you pick this reading and you are married to someone or you're in a committed relationship with someone, you might be growing to the next level with your partner where you and them are both becoming very creative, and your sexual activity with them is unlocking their creativity, which is reflecting back on you and creating the limitlessness you both feel. So let's get some animal oracle cards and then we'll wrap up your guys' reading. Stag spirit, take the lead. Yeah. Chameleon spirit, act as if. That's so interesting. Okay. Chameleon spirit was confusing me for a second, but I think I know what it is. This reading in general is confusing me because it's so polar opposite of the direction I'm in my life. And so sometimes that's difficult for me to read, but I know, especially when I haven't done a reading in a while for my audience and stuff, I get messages that I don't expect because I'm like just reconnecting. I've been separate for a while and I'm like reconnecting with your guys' energies, right? With Take the Lead, this is talking about this seductive energy, right? Like you guys are going to be the ones who are taking the lead with the sex stuff, right? Like you're going to be the ones who are hitting on them. You're going to be approaching them, asking them like, can I kiss you? And then initiating the kiss. You guys are going to be the one who is like initiating the lead in a romantic fashion with this person. They see you, this person sees you as a leader, and they see you as a pure spirit. So even if you felt like you're this dark devil energy, they view you seductive like that. They view the energy as alluring and addictive like that, and same with you to them. But this person with the stag spirit here views you as a pure soul. They know you wouldn't hurt them. They know you wouldn't harm them. They feel safe in your presence. It's not like you're this like Don Juan seducer type who's here to kind of like make them, I don't see any kind of like taking advantage of them is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. With stag spirit, there's a nobility. There's a sense of nobility. There's a feeling that you are a leader in this position. You are taking the lead with this person, and you are in the initial stages of this connection showing them what's up in life, right? You're taking them on dates. You're showing them new places to go, stuff like that. Remember, this person most likely manifested you into their life, or they've dreamed of you before. This person's a strong creator. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not manifesting things in their life in the traditional sense of like, I'm going to think it and it's going to come into my existence, right? They're manifesting things in the form of like, maybe they're a writer, the stories they write, the characters that they write about come into their life, or maybe they're a painter and they draw people and you are one of their drawings and you actually look creepily, uncannily like a drawing that they drew. And you're like, whoa, that's weird. Like, and they're like, yeah, I drew that like a year ago. This person might not even be aware of their manifestation abilities. They might just like know these coincidences happen, but they might be like oblivious to them. Who knows? That's in their ballpark. But with Take the Lead, they view you as very innocent. They view you as pure. They view you as a leader. They view you as someone who is noble. They view you as someone who is willing to take charge. Okay, with the Chameleon Spirit, act as if. This is interesting because I really think that this is the energy you're embodying in this next stage of your development when you're with this person. This is kind of how you're going to learn to be this next person in your life is you're going to start acting like this Queen of Wands person. It's very much the vibe of like you meet a person, you really admire them. This would be the similar, the best way I can put this in a more superficial sense is like you meet your girlfriend, this new girl, and you're like, oh my God, girl, I love your style. I love your skirt. I love your pants. I love your earrings. I love your nose ring, whatever. I love your style. And then you realize like, I want to look like that. And so you start dressing like that. Honestly, copying is the highest form of flattery, and it's actually one of the ways we develop ourselves and our identity is by emulating the people that we are in relationships with, right? We look to someone, we admire them, and we think, wow, I wish I could do that. You can, like you can totally do that, and you're meant to do that. You're meant to like adapt to that person, copy their style. You're meant to do that because that's really your style too. If you resonate with it, that's your style too, With act as if here with the Chameleon Spirit, I really see you acting like this person. And I think this person doesn't mind it, right? They still know you're you, and that's part of the exchange that's going on. But I definitely see you kind of emulating this Queen of Wands energy a little bit more. So for most of you, this is a sexual connection. So if you're a female watching my channel, this could just be a more feminine male, and they might actually dress in like, they might even wear makeup or nail polish or something like that. They have certain stylistic things that you might copy their sense of style eventually or something like that. And you might actually copy their ability to create things too. For those of you in same sex, this is really going to apply the most for people who are in same sex relationships because there's going to be an ease of material, right? Because in traditional, like not traditional society, but like society in general, there's like traditional like clothing for men and female and stuff like that. But otherwise, for most of this, it's about the psychological effect of copying someone else. You're going to start acting like this person, which is going to create a stronger feeling of heart space within your own heart, a feeling of kindness and compassion. With the Ace of Cups, this is the card of self-love. This is the card of really nurturing yourself and letting that love come from within you and stay within you and emanate from within you. It's a feeling of being self-sustaining in your love for yourself, right? In this way, this person is helping you be more independent. They're also helping you become more limitless, right? So the way you're acting, how do I put this? They're a master creator, right? They're a master creator. They create a whole bunch of different stuff. These candles are representative of wishes, and they've lit all these wishes around them. They're a master creator. They have the wand outstretched. This person's a master creator. You're becoming this master creator by acting like this person. That's how you're going to learn in this point in your life how to become a better manifester, or in general, just how to work better with these concepts and things and learn that you're actually limitless. Learn that you actually have the ability to do whatever you want, and you are an unlimited being that has unlimited potential and unlimited power. Yeah. So I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Thank you again so much for letting me read for you. I really enjoyed reading for you today. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. If you liked the video, like or comment below. With that, I'm going to bid you adieu. Goodbye. Catch you in the next one. Hello, group 4. I always got to sing for one of the groups. I bet you my singing voice is so annoying. I kind of know it's annoying. I'm annoyed by my own singing voice. Maybe other people aren't, but I'm definitely annoyed by my own. I just hear my recordings and like, ooh. Took me a while to actually get used to my own voice in general, doing these pick-a-cards. And even to this day, there's something about my voice that I'm not a big fan of. But you know what? That's the interesting thing about this reading is we're talking about who you're becoming. And I wanted to sing initially, and I'm talking about the vocals. And even though you picked a greenstone, I'm feeling a strong connection to vocal energy with this pile. So we'll see what that is. I want to keep that vague for now because I want to see what the cards pull up and will come out with, and then we'll get into who you're becoming. See how that message connects. Wow. This is really cool. Forget my vocal message because the messages coming through have nothing to do with that. So the vocal message was just something that, me singing and stuff. Maybe that message comes up later in the reading, but initially I'm not seeing any messages about your voice in the cards. So that message, take that if it resonated for that intro that I just did, but let's get into what your cards are saying. So if you were like the intro message, you're like, what was that? Like that doesn't resonate. That's only for some of you, right? That's only for some of you who are resonating with that. But basically what I'm seeing here is really your identity is coming into a unique kind of position. With this hangman, the vibe I'm getting that you're leaving like this period of just waiting for things to happen, waiting for things to happen. I am seeing with this Four of Cups here that you are being offered new opportunities. And it's not that you're being offered new opportunities, it's that you're becoming aware of new opportunities. The Hangman talks about finally getting the perspective that you need to see things from a different angle, right? It's almost like your previous identity didn't understand that the universe was offering them opportunities. And you guys may have watched videos where it's like, whoa, you have to receive in order to get. And you're like, there are no opportunities. Like, that's the vibe that I'm getting with you guys. Like, you had this period where you were like, it's actually kind of funny now that I think about it. But it's like you had this period where you were seeing things from only this one perspective. And you might still be in that perspective, and you might be thinking like, the universe is not offering me any opportunities. There are no opportunities coming my way. That's because there's a need to shift your perspective to see things from a different angle in order to see what the opportunities are that are presenting themselves, right? It's about a mindset shift. So I feel like a lot of you are like, yeah, opportunities don't come my way. Like, I don't see them. And this is what's going on with this girl in this card. If you look closely, she's being offered a cup here. Someone has a hand out. Someone has a hand out offering her this cup, and there's like glowing aura of rainbows coming out of it. And she's just looking over here being like, here's my empty cups. And, I'm just going to look over here and I'm bored and I don't see that. It's kind of having like a myopic point of view, like there's a feeling of like not knowing exactly what could come along or being disenchanted with life. But I'm seeing that you guys are in this period where you are tired of waiting. You're tired of waiting. You're tired of like sitting around. And so I see that you actually get into action in your life. And that's kind of what stimulates this new identity. With the Eight of Wands in reverse here, I do see a lot of things coming in, a lot of opportunities. And this is divine inspiration, right? So one thing that you're getting in touch with in this next identity shift of who you're becoming, you're getting more in touch with divine energies. And these divine energies are going to be offering you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, right? And I see you accepting these opportunities, There's a feeling of being so stagnant and so apathetic that you feel like you can't accept opportunities at this point in life. And don't worry, this will come. Your shift in perspective will come. I don't think you have to do anything. That's the thing with this group. I don't think you have to do anything. I think you will just, at one point coming down the pike, you will see things from a different angle and you'll go, oh, shit, that angle, that way of looking at things. It's like having like a different colored set of glasses on your eyes. Like say you're wearing like yellow glasses or something and you're seeing everything as yellow and someone's trying to tell you that the world is purple, right? Or someone's trying to tell you like, no, the world is purple. The world is like purple. There's like purple everywhere. And you're like, there's no purple everywhere. All I see is yellow, right? Because you're wearing these yellow glasses. When you take off the yellow glasses, quote unquote, seeing things from a different perspective, all of a sudden the yellow disappears and the world is not just, you don't just see purple again. it's like all you can see, right? It's like because the yellow's gone, the opposite color's purple. So purple's what's shining through the most, right? It's like, whoa, holy shit, the whole world's purple from this perspective. It's one of those things too. It's like, and I want to go back to that analogy to make more sense of it. You know, when you just so people are aware, when you wear different colored sunglasses, you wear them for a while, and the world looks a certain color in those glasses. But when you take them off, instead of the world just returning to its normal color that you normally see it in, there's an effect that happens with your eyes. I don't know what it's called. Maybe you guys can, if you guys know what this is called. I just know it exists, where your eyes actually adjust from the previous color to see more of the other color. This also happens if you're like, how do I put it? Like, you're looking at something really green for a while, right? Like even if you like pause this video and you stare at this green chrysoprase and you only stare at that and you really focus on that for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, might take a minute, but you just focus on that for a while. Then when you close your eyes, you'll see this red dot right where the chrysoprase was. It's the same thing with the sunglasses. Once you remove that vision or that lens that you're seeing things through, it's like you don't just see normal again, you see super purple, right? Like with this, the feeling, the analogy with the yellow sunglasses, you're seeing like super the opposite color. Like the world seems surreal in that if you were looking through rose-colored glasses, when you take them off, it's like, whoa, everything is green now, you know? Like that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here, that like in this next transformation, it's gonna be quick like that. It's gonna be like, all of a sudden it's like, okay, the only reason it's quick like this is because in your current incarnation of like your personality right now, is your identity right now, you are not seeing things from this angle. And so you're really looking at things through this. It's funny, the yellow lights right here too. You're looking at things through these glasses, right? These colored glasses, and you're just like, my world's yellow. And it's like, you've been wearing these glasses for so long that when this moment comes and you finally take them off and you see things from a different angle, it's like, oh my gosh, the world's completely different. What the hell? What have I walked into? You know, and then all of a sudden, all these opportunities, you see all the opportunities around you because, for example, in my metaphor that I'm using right now, purple is the color of opportunities, right? So the purple colors that you see all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, opportunities are everywhere, right? People are coming into your life at all these different times offering you opportunities. So you become this really lucky and blessed person, this person who has, in a way, advantages in life. And I think it's one of those things where you might actually start talking to other people about the fact that the universe is always giving to you. You know, you might say like, no, the universe is ever abundant and always giving, right? That's the vibe that I get from this group. With the Eight of Wands in reverse here, I'm getting a strong vibe of like all these opportunities pointing to one specific thing is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So for example, you might have a whole bunch of opportunities coming into your life that are different or different things or different activities, but for some reason they all kind of shift or like move you towards one specific thing. Only take that last message if it resonates. Because for some of you, I think I wouldn't worry about that message too much. It's just this little side effect to know that you are being led to one kind of thing. But the point is to just accept the opportunities and see where they go, you know, and see what happens, you know. The point of the new identity that you're shifting into is just a person who accepts opportunities. Like, yes, this is coming down the pike. I will accept that. Yes, this is coming down the pike. I will accept that. You know, it's a feeling of liberation in the fact that you're eliminating a feeling of being bored. Like your previous self was so bored all the time. It had nothing to do. And I think that this new self is just accepting activity after activity, you know, just from seeing things from this different angle. So let's get some animal oracle cards and I will wrap up your guys' reading. Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty much to the point. It's funny because I talked about vocally and singing and stuff like that and how I didn't like my own voice and stuff. I don't know why I'm so determined to tie that message in with the rest of the reading. Part of me is like, I know it's like not resonating. Like as far as the reading goes, it could just be a side message, but I'm not going to try and tie it in. I know it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to fit a square peg into a round hole. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see what the cards say here. Snake spirit, time to heal, and horse spirit, freedom is yours. Yeah, with the horse spirit here, I really feel a sense of liberation. I feel like you guys have been trapped in a prison not a prism, maybe Freudian slip, right? Maybe prisms have something, maybe you guys are really relating to prisms. We have a lot of rainbow colors here, so maybe prisms are significant, or interacting with prisms, or working with prisms that deflect light, you know? We are talking a lot about light, so I am going to go with that analogy real quick just to explain further that metaphor of light. Prisms are interesting in that you might be seeing in one perspective of white light, right? But when you look through a prism, it separates it into all these different colors, right? Which could represent all the different opportunities that are being offered to you, right? So you might think life is just this one thing, or this, you might even feel like you're, how do I put this? You can't see the opportunities because you can't see the different shades within life, if that makes sense. So prisms could be helpful in getting you to have this shift of perspective, like meditating on the concept of a prism, working with prisms, stuff like that. Just so you guys know, I'm talking about prisms, PRISM, prism, and working with those. Yeah, they're little clear triangle things. Sometimes they're triangles, sometimes they're just, I don't know if there are other things in triangles, but prisms basically reflect white light into multiple colors. So yeah. But anyway, freedom is yours. Initially, I was talking about a prison, right? Not prisms, but prison. But I just wanted to bring up prism just because it came up. But you guys are going to be being lifted from a prison of apathy and boredom. That's the feeling I'm getting, is you guys are going to be coming out of a prison of like not knowing what to do. You know, you're not knowing anything. You're feeling like there's no opportunities. There's nothing happening in life. You're coming out of this prison, and freedom is totally yours, you know, to the point where things are going to come into your life whenever you need them. That kind of vibe, you know? With the Hangman and Snake Spirit here, I feel like there's a feeling with this woman being very flexible, and the fact that I see snakes as being very flexible, I think flexibility is part of the key to understanding this new perspective. The new perspective itself might be based upon the principles of flexibility. We also have 2 master numbers here in your reading, indicating that this change for you guys, very life-changing. With the 55 here, that's master number 55, and 33, master number 33, this is just synchronicities. If you guys have been seeing 555, 333, something like that, the 555 is showing you that a change is coming, and with the snake spirit here, you need to be flexible with that change, right? The change is even in flexibility. So it's asking you to rearrange your perspective of things to adapt the new you, right? With the 333 here, this talks about creativity, and I see 3 too as multiple options coming in, multiple avenues of activity. So I do see you guys doing multiple things, right? With all the 8 wands here, that's multiple passions. With all them being a different color, that's multiple different activities, multiple different opportunities. Doesn't have to be necessarily like splitting your interests per se, but it does deal with a lot of different varied opportunities, probably from different people or different parts of different areas of your life, right? With Snake Spirit, the last image, we have time to heal. This perspective shift is going to be incredibly healing for you, right? And just like when you take off the yellow sunglasses, all of a sudden your eyes are seeing that leftover color of purple, right? Eventually your vision adjusts to where you see normal life again. The purple goes away and you just see reality again, right? So one thing that I'm seeing is these opportunities in this next phase of your life are going to be coming like rapid fire, but eventually I see you growing out of this feeling of wanting all these opportunities all the time and wanting them more casually. And I think you start to manifest that in your life. But this is a healing experience. This perspective shift, you're removing a blockage. You're removing a lens that you've been viewing the world through that has been not letting you see all these new opportunities coming into your life, right? And so now they are, and you're accepting them and you are dealing with them. And for a short while, you're going to have with the 8 of Wands here, a very active life. That's the next identity that you're coming into, a very active life, a very open life where you accept things really easily and readily. I see you being a very accepting person, open to new perspectives, open to new opportunities, open to new identities, open to new other people, open to new experiences. I just see you kind of more open and willing to accept different things in your life. And that creates a sense of freedom where you feel like you can do anything, right? Yeah. I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Thank you again so much for letting me read for you. I really enjoyed reading for you today. It was a lot of fun. If you liked the video, like or comment below. And with that said, I'm going to bid you adieu, and I'll catch you guys in the next pick a card. Bye. Hello, Group 5. This is if you picked the clear quartz. Let's get into your reading on who you are becoming. I had an experience with my clear quartz today. Just a moment of appreciating its beauty. I have a piece of quartz in my living room, and the sunlight caught it in a specific way, and it just looked beautiful. It was glowing, you know. There's a feeling of glowing that I am associating quartz now with, and it just made me really appreciative that I have quartz. And I mean, I used to be this person that didn't appreciate quartz. You know, I was like, it's a plain stone. It's the basic stone. Everybody has quartz. Like, I like all these other stones. But today, very thankful for my quartz, you know? And the thing is, when I buy my quartz, I'm like very appreciative of when I buy it. And that's the thing, it's like new, right? It's this new quartz that I have, and I buy it and I like it. But when I get it and I have it for a while, I get used to it, right? But today I actually was like, wow, I appreciate this stone so much. And the light shining through it just makes it even more beautiful. And it gave me renewed interest in the stone. So I picked quartz today for that reason. So maybe this is representing new beginnings with something that you have left a while ago, right? And you are coming back to. Okay. I love the universe for helping me with this, because when I do readings, I love how the last pile is always like the easiest and the flows the most. It's like there's always this feeling of like the last group's energy of like the messages just flowing super effortlessly. And I'm getting that with these cards. There's a strong vibe of like who you're becoming that feels, well, it's effortless for me to read for, because I think I identify with this energy. Not that it's like me, but that I identify with people who have this energy really easily and naturally. So I think you guys are coming into a period. Stay on my channel, by the way. If you're entering this energy, like I love your vibe. Like stay on my channel, comment, whatever. Like I would really enjoy your presence here. Anyway, let's see. So Ace of Wands talks about, like I said, a new beginning. Like there's a feeling of a new beginning. I think you're going to be having some experiences with your third eye chakra that is going to really stimulate you into passion and action. There's a feeling of getting images of a new event or new job or new thing or opportunity in your life. And that new energy is going to be a big part of your identity. Yeah, there's a strong vibe here of like inner fervor or inner passion that's coming through with you guys, like having the gusto to want new things, to want something different, to want a new experience. You know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm seeing here. And I think you guys can see this all within your mind's eye. Now, remember, the ace is like, how do I put this? Okay, so I study this thing called the Mystic Test Book. It's by Only Richmond. It's a kind of like a guide to doing playing cards. It's a very complicated book, very difficult to follow. It's not easy, but the thing about the aces in there is they all represent desires. They all represent desires or thoughts or the beginnings of something. And they don't necessarily represent like things in action, but they represent like the desire for something, right? And that's kind of how I'm seeing this Ace of Wands. It's like the desire for a project, the desire for passion, the desire. And so there's a feeling of mental images in your mind that are creating the desire to do something, right? I think that when you actually get into reality and it manifests in however way it manifests, it might not be exactly how you imagined it, but it will be close enough, and it will be the feelings will be the same, right? With Four of Wands here, I see you guys entering a period where you are letting loose. Like you are letting loose, you're making music, you're partying, you're dancing, you're just really enjoying life, right? I think there's a feeling of being too strict on yourself, or you've been too strict on yourself in the past, and you're just letting loose. You're like, you know what? F it. Like, I'm going to go party. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go dancing. I'm going to go join this class. I'm going to go have fun, you know? The Four of Wands energy for me is when I'm working with my I'm a part of an improv troupe and we put on shows and stuff. When I'm working with my improv troupe and we're like cracking jokes and we're making funnies and stuff like that, like that's when I have my like blast of my time. And the Four of Wands is such a good energy because it talks about lightheartedness, right? It talks about a celebration and what happens at celebrations. There's lighthearted energy in the atmosphere, right? There's a feeling of joy. There's a feeling of positivity. There's a feeling of embracing happiness. I'm going to be honest, embracing happiness and letting happiness flow. Reverse, the Four of Wands can talk about a more serious energy. So I see you guys kind of rejecting that a little bit, rejecting serious atmospheres. You're rejecting things that seem to, how do I put it? Like serious in nature, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Sometimes we feel like we have to really be involved with like really serious topics in the world, things that really affect our heartstrings or something like that. But sometimes it's just good to play around and forget all of that, right? Just to have a good time and to laugh and to shake it off, you know, like the Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off. I don't know why that's coming through for you guys. Maybe you guys are Swifties or you like Taylor Swift or something like that. Anyway, it's just a matter of having fun, right? Not everything has to be super serious or super meaningful, right? There's a feeling that fun can also be meaningful, right? And to really enjoy yourself and not take yourself too seriously. I really see that this motivating aspect, the activity that you're going to be doing or what you're pursuing, part of your vision is this vision of partying or having fun. I can kind of relate this to my own life a little bit. When I was young, when I was like probably like 8 years old or something, there was like I saw these like ravers walking to this rave along the side of the road, and I just thought they seemed so cool and so free and so happy, and they were so playful and like childlike, and I thought that's so cool. Like I want to be like that, you know. I want to like have people in my life like that. And then I started having dreams of like big giant parties and like raves, right? And the raves that I actually went to later in my life weren't actually like my imagination, you know, like there were elements that were the same, but basically what happened in my imagination was it was the spark, it was the energy, it was the desire to do something, right? And I'm seeing that again here with you guys. There's a feeling of a desire for fun. There's a feeling for a desire for happiness. There's a feeling for a desire of spontaneity, of celebration. For some of you, this is just a side note. For some of you, this is a desire to get married because the Four of Wands can represent a celebration, which can represent a wedding. This is the desire to throw a party. If you are a party planner or you want to become a party planner, your new identity is going to be someone who can throw parties. Like I see you as an event organizer or someone who organizes entertaining events for other people. That could be a part of your new identity. But for most of you, I just see you letting loose and having fun. Like this is a time to let loose. This is a time to have fun. This is a time to laugh. This is a time to socialize. Serious issues might come up, but I see them just like rolling off your guys' back and you guys just having a fun time, right? I think happiness is important here. Laughter is important here. And I really think you guys are going to enjoy all of that in this upcoming chapter of your life. Fun is the name of the game for you guys, just so you know. That's the new you is the fun side. So let's see, with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is another aspect of your personality. Here's the thing, with all these people, I think even her, maybe, I can't see her eyes that much, but all these women have their eyes closed, right? Which talks about being led by your inner vision. It talks about being led by your imagination or your feelings, right? When you close your eyes, sometimes when you're not distracted by the outer world visually, you can focus on the inner world. And here's the thing, from my experience, I'm just going to use my experience here. I can't speak for everyone. I don't know what happens with everyone, but my inner visions don't necessarily exactly equate to what happens in my outer reality, right? Like my dream world is definitely my dream world and my outer world is definitely my outer world. I know there's some people who like dream events exactly how they unfold. I'm not one of those people. So I'm going to use my own life in this analogy to explain it. But when you close your eyes or when the eyes get closed, you're connecting with the feeling world, right? When you're connecting with the feeling world, right? These people are feeling themselves. You look at her, like if you just look at their faces, they're feeling themselves, right? I'll show her up a little close. They're feeling their own energy here. They're closing their eyes and they're feeling into it. This new you is all about emotion. It's all about feeling. It's all about realizing where does your inner feeling lead you, right? So with the Ace of Wands here, you might be having inner visions and those might be manifesting, even though they might be manifesting different. With the Queen of Pentacles here, this talks about an intuitive feeling situation with your wealth and your resources. I think you guys are going to intuitively know what feels good to spend money on, what feels good to not spend money on, right? I think you guys are going to really evaluate how you feel when it comes to purchases you make. There's some scale that I heard of a while ago, and I used to follow it for like a month or two, but it might be something that's really prevalent in your guys' life coming up. What do you feel you value? That's something that's coming up for you guys. So when you purchase an item, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel 6 months from after purchasing the item? How does it make you feel a year after purchasing the item? It kind of goes in with my quartz thing of like valuing something years later or something like that. But I'm seeing that you guys are really evaluating how does this thing that I'm purchasing make me feel, right? What am I valuing? How do my feelings reflect my values in a way where my feelings are dictating how my true feelings, right? I'm seeing you guys getting in touch with a feeling center as well. But it's like, how does my centered feeling, how do I feel about this purchase, right? Rather than just like jumping in and purchasing something, right? Like, or just like spending money because you're like compulsively, like maybe you have anxiety and you're like, I just should probably buy it, right? Because I want this situation to end and I should just buy it, right? Like maybe instead of that, you like really feel into it and you know in your heart of hearts. It might even help like before you make a purchase, obviously in a safe environment, but if you close your eyes and you tap in, and you like listen to your body's knowledge, right? Does your body say yes or no to this purchase? Does your body want this purchase or not? Do you need to eat this thing or that thing? Like what things that you value? Do you need to buy this item of clothing or that item of clothing? Like clothing. I said my own name. Wow. Tune in to your own inner feelings in these moments. The way forward will become clear once you calm yourself, calm your emotions, and tune into that feeling center within yourself, right? Also, this fun stuff is going to strengthen that feeling center, right? I know fun can seem like chaotic emotions and like all over the place, but laughter has a profound effect on the soul in a way that I feel like laughter does strengthen the inner directional intuitive system that we have, especially if we're having fun with like-minded people. I'm not saying where you're like paranoid, you think people are laughing at you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about sharing in laughter with other when you and someone else are laughing together. That can strengthen your emotional center and almost your value system is kind of what I'm seeing in a way. Like it strengthens your own ability to tune into what you believe is valuable. Therefore, it's going to help you make better money decisions. I really think you're coming into a position of wealth coming up in your next period of life. Even though you're having a lot of fun, you're probably spending a lot of money on having fun, right? With the Queen of Pentacles, you're coming into a position of wealth or attracting certain wealthy opportunities or money-making opportunities. And it might not even be money-making opportunities. It's just how you're managing your wealth using your inner guidance, using your inner feelings. That's the identity that I see you guys becoming. That's who I see you guys becoming. Let me pull some animal oracle cards to get some further clarification, and then we will wrap up this reading. I just want to apologize real quick for talking too fast. If I talk too fast, I know that's like how I've grown as a reader. I know I used to not do that, but the messages come more rapidly now. My mind works more rapidly. So that's how the messages come across. Let's see. You probably watched my video on 0.5 speed on YouTube to get the voice to slow down too, if you want. Okay, watching. Yeah, okay. I'm so excited for you guys' reading. This energy is so cool. Like, I love this energy because I know a lot of people like this, or people who like embody this kind of vibe, and it's like they're my favorite people. Don't tell the other groups. Okay, so dolphin spirit, this and that are true, and then we have the seahorse spirit. So first of all, the energy and the colors in the Ace of Wands, the blue, the red, and the orange are reflected in the dolphin skin here. And there's a little bit of that color in the background. With this and that are true, I think that your inner visions are going to be reflecting the truth of the reality as well as what you want to manifest in the reality. So pay attention to your inner visions, because they're not only your idea and what you're projecting onto the reality, they're reflections of understanding your reality as well, right? Also with the dolphin spirit, dolphins are incredibly playful, but also equally intelligent. So the one thing I want to point out to you guys is that even though you're having fun, it doesn't make you dumb. It doesn't make you dumb. It doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you a ditz or whatever. It makes you intelligent in the fact that you know how to enrich your soul and your emotional state as well as your intelligence. I see you guys as very intelligent, and for some of you, you might even be putting this intelligence, not, I wouldn't say putting it on the back burner, you're channeling the intelligence into a different direction. Maybe you channeled it traditionally into like traditional stuff of like, maybe like, I'm getting mathematics. I have a friend that's in mathematics, so I'm thinking of that. But like traditional of just stuff that's like heady, right? Like research, mathematics, stuff like that. And maybe right now your identity is shifting more into using your intelligence for like social activities, or using your intelligence to like research parties or something like that, or research where you want to hang out or have fun, or research the activities or celebrations you want to go to, something like that. So with that said, with this and that are true, I see you having an intelligence for both those things, and that can be equally true. You might feel like, oh, if I'm like smart in this way, I can't be social in this way, or if I'm social in this way, I can't be smart in this way. You can be both. You can definitely be both. And I think that the whole time you can be playful and intelligent. Now, I definitely see kind of like a feeling of, I mean, you can be both in this way too, but the thing is, I'm seeing a feeling of increasing your playfulness and fun more than your serious side. So you might be intelligent, but you might be using that intelligence in a playful way. So a great example of that is like puns, or like humor that's like intelligent humor, but is really hilarious. Like the joke is really smart, but also really funny, that kind of stuff. Like I'm seeing you guys as kind of represented as a smart, intelligent, playful being, right? With the dolphin spirit here and with the seahorse spirit here, both aquatic creatures, getting in a pool or a body of water and feeling your own weightlessness in that water could make you more playful. So for example, I'm seeing specifically the ocean for most of you, because both these creatures are in the ocean. They're not like lake creatures, right? Getting and playing in the ocean, going to the beach, being by the sand or the water could be really beneficial. If you guys have a lake near you, submerging yourself in the lake and just floating, like floating, letting yourself, or like if you have like friends with a boat or something like that and you go water skiing or something like that, do something like that. Be with the water, feel the nature of water, because I'm seeing that's really going to help you catch that vibe of playfulness. Water is also very cleansing. So I do see that could cleanse away some of the serious energy that's attached to you. So one thing that would help with is making you more free or expressive by cleansing all that shit off, right? With the seahorse spirit, watch and wait. There's an interesting thing here where I think most of the time your intuition, when you're dealing with this energy of the values and feeling into what you want to purchase. With watch and wait, I am seeing the main thing that your intuition will be telling you is, let's wait on that. Let's wait on that. Let's see how this unfolds. Let's wait on that and see how it happens for this person. Let's wait on that and watch what happens with this person, right? There's the feeling of letting other people be your example for purchases that you need to make, right? So that's coming through as like maybe this could be like reading, like at this most simplest level, it's like reading reviews on the internet. But the way I'm seeing it for you guys is you're asking questions to people too. It's like, oh, you bought that? How do you like that? Like, how did you like those glasses? Or how did you like that meal? Or how did you like that restaurant? Or how did you like that class that you took? Or how did you like that piece of jewelry? How did you like that artist? Getting like opinions and seeing how it affects others, it could be beneficial as well. But more than that, I think when you close your eyes and you're thinking about a specific purchase, your intuition is going to tell you to wait more often than not. I think it's not going to come. I think there's a part of you that wants to rush and buy, and I think that's a part of you you're leaving behind. You're getting to that point where you're like, do I really need this object? Do I really need this thing? I'm going to slow down, close my eyes and ask myself, do I need this? Do I want this? Do I value this? Should this be in my life? And more often than not, your intuition is going to tell you to wait. Right? Especially with the seahorse spirit here. I am seeing with the seahorse spirit being a little more delicate. Your intuition or your feelings at first might seem more delicate or soft, or the answer that comes is might be more soft, as far as the answer that is your intuition, essentially, right? There's a feeling of, yeah, just kind of like a soft answer is kind of the best way to put it. I'm not really getting any more messages on how that's coming through. So for a lot of you, and I also want to talk about the fragile answer too, if that makes sense. For some of you, the word fragile is really going to apply and you're going to resonate with that. But for others of you, it's just a soft answer, you know? Yeah, I'm not going to go deeper into that because for a lot of you, it's going to be different. The point is with watch and wait, it's about watching and observing your feelings and waiting for a response, right? And most often that response is going to be wait a little bit longer, right? Especially if you don't fully need that object, you don't fully need that purchase, right? That's going to be the vibe that I'm seeing here. I think with the Queen of Pentacles, you're really going to value your material wealth in this next period of your life too. I think you're really valuing it. I think you really connect with your wealth on an emotional level, which is something that not a lot of people do. And if they do, it's in a negative way. You know, people are like, oh, I connect with my wealth, but I hate how money controls me. Or, oh, I connect with my wealth, but I hate how much I have to work for it. Or, oh, I connect with my wealth, but I hate money and money's the root of all evil, stuff like that. I feel like you're really emotionally connecting with your wealth in a way that makes you feel proud of like what you've built and what you've accumulated, stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Remember, guys, the keyword is fun. This is the center of the reading. It's right under the quartz. I definitely think fun is the name of the game coming up. And yeah, with that said, I'm going to end your reading there. If you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next pick a card. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye.